Let's talk about some comics. So I have a philosophy with buying comics week to week for what series I buy, because obviously I don't have the money to buy every single comic that I want to, and so in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I think is the best of the best for each publisher. I have not read every single comic that's currently going on, but these are my favorites, and yeah, so basically it's just the fact that they're the comics that I can wait till they get out, till they come out on trade, and I can read them that way, which is my preferred way, but it takes months for them to come out on trade, which really sucks because that's the way I would prefer to read them. And then there are those comics that I have to know what's going on week to week, and those are the ones that I buy, well, month to month, or, every 2 weeks, because that's how Rebirth does it, which is great, but Marvel's still on the one every month thing. But either way, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, today I'm going to be sharing 2 from Marvel and 2 from DC that are my favorites right now. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with DC. Now, I'm not going to bring up All-Star Batman here because of the fact that you don't need me to tell you that a Batman book written by Scott Snyder is good and you should be reading it. There's no point in me making a video on that because you know it's good, you know you should be reading it, so I'm not going to be bringing that up in one of my 2. Even though All-Star Batman is really good, I'm not bringing it up for those simple reasons. It's just like, hey, did you know the new Steven Spielberg movie is good? It's like, oh, yeah, no duh. So, like, that's basically my whole thing with the All-Star Batman. It's a great book, definitely should be reading it, but I'm not going to talk about here. Also, for these books, I'm not going to be going super in-depth because the whole point is to get you guys to read these books, not to spoil every single thing that happens with them. That's not the whole point of this video. So anyways, yeah, starting off with Superman by Peter J. Tomasi. This book, I was a little worried because Peter J. Tomasi, I like him, but he's not like 100% like, okay, I know he's going to do great on every book that he's going to write, especially Superman. I haven't really seen how good he was going to do with Superman. I wasn't sure, but he's been killing it way better than Action Comics. Action Comics started out rough. Now it's getting pretty good, but starting out wasn't too great, which was surprising because Dan Jurgens did a great job with Lois and Clark, which is a series in the New 52. He was doing amazing with that, and now Action Comics has just dropped off a bit. Now it's getting back to where it was, but Superman has been solid from the very beginning. It's been an amazing story. It's about Superman and his family. In case you did not know, this is pre-New 52 Superman living in the New 52 world, except New 52 world, it's not called New 52 anymore, or, it's Rebirth, but it's still that same world. So Superman is now married to Lois, and he's got a son. So I think that's great. I love it because one of the things I really hate about New 52 is the fact that they broke Lois and Superman up, and then they gave Clark was now suddenly dating Wonder Woman. It was really stupid, and I hated that. So to see pre-New 52 Superman here with Lois, they have a kid now, it's great. It feels like a very natural progression of the character, which is awesome because a lot of times characters stay the same forever, and then when they do change, it's really bad because it's like, oh, look at this change that'll get us free publicity on the news because they'll be talking, I'll be like, ooh, Captain America's now a Nazi, but not really. And so yeah, it's stupid stuff like that, but this is a natural progression of the character that feels right, and I really like, and it's really cool seeing Clark having to adjust to the father role, but at the same time still being Superman and being there for Lois as a husband. And so it's really cool, and the storyline has been great. You had Eradicator come in, and he's basically like, okay, we're gonna destroy the human part of your son because, in case you don't know who Eradicator is, by the way, he's this guy from Krypton. He's not a person, but he's this thing from Krypton, and his whole goal now is to bring Krypton back, and through that, Kal's the only pure Kryptonian. But with his son, he can sort of eliminate the human side of him, make him a pure Kryptonian. There we go. But Clark's obviously not having that, so that was like the first storyline, and they go to a secret moon base that Batman had. That's my selling point for this book. Superman and his son side by side fight the Eradicator in a secret moon base that Batman had that no one knew except for Superman. So yeah, read Superman. It's a great book. The art's been really good, and the writing is just fantastic. Very solid book. My favorite from Rebirth. Next up for DC, we got Green Arrow. It's really nice seeing Green Arrow sort of coming back to his roots. He's a lot more pre-New 52 than New 52 or Arrow, because New 52 sort of tried to go a little Arrow with it. Now, this book has been great. I do have one concern for it, and that is the fact that I don't want too much Black Canary, which they've not done yet, but I'm really concerned about that because of the fact that they could pull an Arrow, and by that, I mean the fact that you have characters like Black Canary, who's very essential to Green Arrow and should definitely be in this book, but should not be like in this book. It shouldn't be like the Green Arrow Black Canary book. It is a Green Arrow book, not a Green Arrow Black Canary book. So I want it to still focus on Green Arrow. So far, it's done that, but it could easily slip into the territory of becoming a team-up book. I don't want that to happen. But that being said, this book is great. It's fantastic. It's got a really good storyline that fits with Green Arrow, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Sort of a spoiler, but not like the hugest spoiler, is back at the end of the last storyline. It ended with Green Arrow, well, with Oliver Queen being stranded on the island that he was, originally stranded on in his origin. So I can't wait to see what happens next with this. It's been really good. The art, some of my favorite currently going on right now. The art in this book is amazing. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't. No, camera's not focusing. Okay, well, I'll put his name on screen or something. Ferreira. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does some amazing art. Storyline's really cool. I love seeing Oliver and Black Canary back together. It's amazing, and definitely read it. For Marvel, we've got The Punisher. This book has been great so far. It's written by Becky Cloonan. It's been really good. While not as good as the Nathan Edmondson run, which I loved from Marvel Now, that run was fantastic, and I thought was a really good sort of change for the character, like change scenery and everything. Anyways, this is Punisher sort of being back to where he was. He's back to New York. He's being the Punisher. He's doing Punisher things. Basically what's going on is there's this new drug that's sort of driving people crazy, and he's trying to figure that whole thing out. And while at the same time, there's this guy called Face. He's called Face because he rips people's face off and like mounts them to walls. Does that after he kills them. So that guy's been hired to kill Punisher. So Punisher is basically in the in-between because he's trying to stop this whole drug from going around poisoning his city and, hurting people. While at the same time, there's this guy that seems like a very formidable foe trying to kill him, and then you have just Punisher doing Punisher things, just going around and killing people, and it looks awesome. The art is done by Steve Dillon, who is probably the most okay artist in all of comics, in my opinion. His art is just very bland to me. There's nothing special to it. A lot of people like it. He's sort of become a classic artist now because of the fact that he's done so much and he is very attached to the Punisher name. But his art's just okay. Everyone kind of looks the same, and if it weren't for like the skull on Punisher's chest, you couldn't really tell it was Punisher. His art's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's just, like I said, it's the most okay art I've ever seen. So yeah, he's been in this game for a long time, been doing comics for a while, but yeah, he's the artist on this book. And Becky Cloonan, who I'd never heard of prior to this book, she does great. I love her writing. Well, again, not as good as the Nathan Edmondson run. Well, this isn't 3 volumes like the Nathan Edmondson run was. This is like, I think 5 or 6 issues in. It's been really good so far, and I can't wait to see what happens next. You should definitely be reading it. Next, for Marvel, we've got Old Man Logan. Now, yes, I did make a video about this, talking all about the Old Man Logan run, but not a whole lot of people watched that, so I figured it was okay to talk about Old Man Logan again, because I really cannot stress enough how much you guys should read this book. It's one of my favorites going on from either company right now. It's amazing. The art is done by Andrea Sorrentino, who is my favorite artist right now. He's amazing, and the writing is just as good as the art. And look at the art. I think that's all I need to say, but I will say a little bit more. The story has been fantastic. It's about Old Man Logan. Logan from another universe, where in that universe, he got tricked by Mysterio into killing all of the X-Men, and became a pacifist, and then after that, he settled down with a family, but then supervillains killed his family, because the supervillains took over all of the United States, because they, like the entire world, because they decided, hey, there's like 50 of us for every one superhero, so why don't we all just team up and kill them all? They did. Wolverine was one of the few remaining. They killed his family. He went, killed a lot of them, and now he's in this world because Secret Wars happened, and now he's learning to adjust, and it's been really good. And we're also getting flashbacks for the origins of the Old Man Logan universe, how everything happened, how he met his wife, how he started his family, and all that. And yeah, it's been really good. Again, the writing is just as good as the art. And look at the art. It's so pretty. It's just, it's amazing. It's a great book. And just Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino have been killing it lately. And I can't wait for more. I really want more of this book. Now, that's it for DC and Marvel. But I'm also going to be talking about one indie book. Because I know some of you guys hate DC and hate Marvel. But maybe you want an indie book to read. Or maybe you just like both of them. But you also want an indie book. Or you're tired of it. Whatever. Either way, my favorite indie book right now is Kill or Be Killed. Which is done by the same creative team who wrote The Fade Out. The Fade Out's a book that I talked about a while ago. It's a fantastic book, one of my favorite indie books. It's actually, where is it? It's down here. There it is. The Fade Out. Here it is. Fade Out. Got all 3 volumes. It's also actually coming out in hardcover soon. I think like a month or so. It's coming out in hardcover, so you can get all 3 volumes for like $30, which I definitely recommend, or just buy all 3 volumes. Anyways, it's like a fantastic book to fade out. But anyways, it's the same creative team, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. They're fantastic. These guys really have talent, and they're really good working together. And I'm so glad they decided to do another book, because when the fade out ended, really sucked, because that was the indie book that I was reading at the time, and I always like having an indie book to read, and I was like, I don't know what to read, but now they're doing Kill or Be Killed, and it's great. So the premise of Kill or Be Killed is this guy who's not having the greatest luck. He goes and he tries to kill himself, but he ends up not killing himself. So he tries to throw himself off of a building, ends up like falling on this like soft snow after like slowing himself down by hitting a bunch of clotheslines. So he's like, okay, I'm fine. And then after that, he gets a visit from a demon who's like, hey, you tried to waste your life, so for every month, you are going to give me a life to pay for the life that you tried to waste, but I gave back to you because, you know, you're not dead now. And so he's like, think of it as rent. So he has to kill one person every month, otherwise he dies. That's why it's called Kill or Be Killed. That is, to me, a very interesting premise, and it's been done very well so far. Also, the book starts in the future, and so it's the guy, it's himself, the main character from the future, telling you what's going on in the past. He's narrating it, and so it's great. It's a really good format, and again, the premise is awesome, very interesting, and man, I can't wait to see like what else these guys can do, because The Fade Out, one of my favorite indie books ever. It's a mystery, old-timey like noir mystery but movie, I mean, not movie, comic based on in the movie industry in the 40s, and so this being a modern day sort of like a bit supernatural, I can't wait to see what the next storyline is that they decide to do, because this stuff has been amazing and I love this creative team. So yeah, that's my indie book. Also, my giveaway, you probably saw it in the title. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on Twitter, giving away a bunch of comics, just a bunch of random ones, because whenever I buy like, here, where is this, like, yeah, whenever I buy a Marvel comic, you see that? You see that thing right there? It says digital code. Marvel always has those bonus digital codes in their books. I never use them. If I don't screw it up scraping peeling the thing off, then I will be giving that code away on Twitter. I'll be doing that on Wednesday. Let's go with Wednesday. So Wednesday, look at my Twitter. I'll be giving those away. I'll be saying on Twitter when I will be doing the giveaway, so that way it's not just random sometime in the day. Just look at my Twitter, link in the description. I'll be giving away free comics like Old Man Logan. I might have some Star Wars. I don't know. I got a bunch of Marvel comics that I'm going to be looking at and seeing what codes I got, and then I'll just put them all on Twitter. Because, again, I don't use them. I got the physical copies. I don't need the digital ones. So I'll be giving those to you guys. So, again, link in the description to my Twitter. Go follow me there if you want some free comics. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And please let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite comics going on right now from Marvel, DC, or any indie publisher like Image, IDW, whatever. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I've been so alone ever since I left the tribe. That's just how it goes, guess I like the lonely vibe.